He escaped a maximum security prison in a laundry cart. He escaped a second one through a mile-long tunnel dug straight up into his own shower. He was worth an estimated $14 billion, and for 25 years, no cage on earth could hold him. Today, Joaquin Guzman sits in a concrete box in Colorado he will never leave. They finally won. And it cost him his own blood. This isn't just the story of a drug lord. It's the story of a machine. A man built it out of nothing, and built it so well that even after they buried him alive in that box, it kept running, kept killing, until the day it turned and started eating its own. Start here, a cluster of shacks in the mountains of Sinaloa, so remote it barely has a name. La Tuna. This is where Joaquin is born, in 1957, into dirt floor poverty. As a boy, he sells oranges on the roadside. He gets maybe a third-grade education. His father beats him, and all around him, in these same mountains, is the one thing that grows money out of bad soil: opium poppies. To a kid with nothing, the drug trade isn't a crime. It's the only ladder out. He grabs it with both hands. By the 1980s, he's working for the man who runs everything, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, the godfather of the Mexican trade. And Joaquin is good, ruthless, patient, and clever in one specific way that will define him forever. Everyone else moves drugs over the border. Joaquin goes under it. In 1989, his engineers dig a tunnel beneath the US-Mexico line, air-conditioned, lit, running from a house in Mexico straight into a warehouse in Arizona. Product goes in one country and comes out the other, and nobody up top sees a thing. The tunnels make him untouchable. Remember the tunnels. They are how he rises. They are how he escapes. They are the whole story. When the Godfather is arrested, the empire shatters into pieces, and Joaquin takes the richest piece, Sinaloa. Over the next decade, he builds it into the most powerful criminal organization on the planet. Cocaine from Colombia, meth from superlabs, heroin from his own mountains, moved by tunnel, by truck, by submarine, into every major city in America. The money becomes a problem you can't spend. Gold-plated pistols, a private zoo with lions and tigers, a ranch, a beauty queen wife. By 2009, Forbes puts him on its billionaires list, an actual entry next to CEOs and royalty, net worth, $1 billion. And here is the thing about a man who has everything. He starts to believe the story that he's a myth. That belief is the crack that will one day bring him down, but not for a long, long time. But a myth still has to bleed. In 1993, he's caught in Guatemala and locked in a Mexican maximum security prison. For most men, that's the end. For Joaquin, it's an inconvenience. Inside, he runs his empire by phone, bribes half the staff, and turns the prison into a hotel with room service and a soccer field. And on January 19, 2001, hours before he can be extradited to the United States, a guard on his payroll wheels a laundry cart down the hall. Joaquin is folded inside it, under the sheets. They roll him out the front gate. And just like that, the most wanted man in Mexico is gone. He will stay gone for 13 years. For over a decade, he is the most powerful fugitive on Earth, hiding in the same mountains he was born in, protected by the poverty around him, because up there, Joaquin isn't a criminal. He's the local boy who made it. He builds roads, he pays for weddings. Whole villages will lie to a soldier's face for him. The Americans put up a $5 million reward. Mexico sends the army into the Sierra again and again. And every time, he simply melts into the landscape, down another tunnel, over another ridge, gone before the boots hit the ground. He isn't just hiding, he's untouchable. And the longer it lasts, the more everyone, including him, starts to believe he always will be. In 2014, it finally cracks. Mexican Marines corner him in a beach condo in Mazatlan and take him alive. No shot fired. They lock him in the Altiplano, the most secure prison in the country, watched by cameras 24 hours a day. The world exhales. They finally have him. They do not have him. Because for over a year, in a field outside the prison walls, a crew is digging. A tunnel, a mile long, 30 feet down, with lighting, ventilation, and a small motorcycle running on rails to haul out the dirt. It rises up, with impossible precision, through the floor of the one blind spot in his cell, the shower. On July 11, 2015, Joaquin steps into that shower on camera and never steps out. He is simply gone, again. It is the most humiliating prison break in modern history, and it makes him officially a legend. So how do you catch a man who can walk through walls? You wait for the one weakness money can't fix: his ego. On the run again, at the height of his myth, Joaquin does something no careful fugitive would ever do. He invites Hollywood into the jungle. He wants a movie made about his life. So in October 2015, he secretly meets the actor Sean Penn and the actress Kate Del Castillo at a hidden ranch. He lets them film him. He talks. And every phone that arranges that meeting, every message, every location, the authorities are watching all of it. The interview that was supposed to make him immortal is the thread they pull to unravel him. The myth reached for the camera, and the camera showed them exactly where he was. January 8, 2016. Before dawn, Mexican Marines hit a safe house in Los Mochis. This time, it's a war, a firefight through the house, 5 of his men killed. Joaquin slips into a storm drain and runs, of course, underground, but this time there's no tunnel waiting. He surfaces into the street and steals a car, and the Marines take him on the highway. This time, they don't trust a Mexican prison for a second. Within a year, he is on a plane to New York. In 2019, a Brooklyn jury convicts him on all counts. The sentence, life in prison, plus 30 years, and an order to forfeit $12.6 billion. They send him to ADX Florence, Colorado, the supermax they call the Alcatraz of the Rockies. A soundproof concrete cell, 1 hour of exercise a day, alone. No tunnels, no laundry carts, no mountains to melt into. For the first time in his life, Joaquin Guzman is somewhere he cannot escape. Here's the part the headlines got wrong. Catching Joaquin was supposed to be the end of the Sinaloa cartel. It wasn't even a pause, because the machine he built never needed him. His partner, a quiet old kingpin named Ismael El Mayo Zambada, kept the empire running for years, while Joaquin's 4 sons, the ones they call Los Chapitos, fought to inherit their father's throne. The cartel didn't shrink after El Chapo fell, it got bigger. It flooded America with fentanyl, a synthetic drug so cheap and so deadly, it now kills tens of thousands of people every single year. The man was in a box. The machine was breaking records, and in 2019, it proved something terrifying. When Mexican soldiers captured one of Joaquin's sons, Ovidio, in the city of Culiacan, the cartel did not run. It went to war with the state. Hundreds of gunmen flooded the streets, blocked every highway, and torched vehicles until the government did the unthinkable. It ordered its own troops to release him. The Sinaloa cartel forced a sovereign nation to hand back its prisoner in a single afternoon. Joaquin sat in a concrete box in Colorado. His machine had just beaten a country. And then, in July 2024, the machine did the one thing no cage ever could. It turned on itself. One of Joaquin's own sons, Joaquin Guzman Lopez, allegedly lured his father's oldest partner, El Mayo, onto a private plane and delivered him straight into the hands of American agents. A betrayal at the very top. The old kingpin's faction and the sons went to war, and it detonated in the streets of Culiacan, the cartel's own capital. Burning trucks, roadblocks, bodies, neighbor against neighbor, all of them soldiers in a machine that had run out of enemies and started consuming itself. Joaquin Guzman built something that outlived his freedom, outlived his myth, and finally came for his own blood, while he watched from a concrete box, able to do nothing at all. So who really won the hunt for El Chapo? They caught the man. It took 2 prison breaks, a $5 million bounty, an army, and finally his own vanity to do it. But the thing he was, the machine, the tunnels, The appetite, none of that is in a cell in Colorado. It's still out there, bigger than ever, and now it eats the very family that built it. That's the part nobody wants to say out loud. You can arrest a kingpin. You cannot arrest the demand, the money, and the hunger he fed. The man is in a box for the rest of his life. The machine has never been more free. So, did they win? Tell me in the comments. I'm Midas, and in the Midas files, every empire has a price. Subscribe, the next case file is already open.